Hello, hello. It's Sandy from Doux Designs. Giving everybody a few minutes to get here. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, thank you. And please like and subscribe for more. And this little thing I have right here, my husband made this for me. You can look forward to things like this in the near future. So I bought this card kit quite a while ago, back when they used Right Markers. Hey, Cheryl. They no longer use Right Markers. They now use Olos. So because this kit has those markers, I have to choose my own colors. But in their current kits, they now have the Olo numbers that they use in the kit. But that's not going to be a problem. I will figure it out. Don't you worry. We will choose our colors and have no issues doing so. I've chosen a few already. I've only opened this kit to pull the instructions out. Each kit that they give you like this, it makes 3 cards in envelopes. Hi, Shalana. We're just going to do 1 card tonight just to give you the idea of how this works. I absolutely love these kits because they tell you everything to do. You can vary it a little if you prefer based on what you like. But we're going to stay pretty close to what's on here just so you can learn how the kits work. Like I said, this is an older kit, but they have a lot of new ones and they're super cool. When you open it up, it has everything you need except for a trimmer or, you know, something like that, but and the markers, but everything else is included in the kit. So you get the glitter paper, and yes, this is glitter paper we're going to color on. You get the sample of what the card looks like. I'm just going to sit that aside where I can still see it, but I'm out of the way so you guys don't have to see it. Hello, hello. I'm glad you guys are saying hi. I can see comments. That's super great. Feeling a lot better these days, so I'm pretty happy about that. You get a full sheet of stickers. This is why you can make 3 cards. There's 3 sets of those hearts in here. And you can buy stickers and kits as well if you'd like. Just check out their website and you can see everything that they have. They are Krazy Kreations, but they're spelled with a K, so don't be confused by that. So it looks like this: Krazy, K-R-A-Z-Y, K-R-E-A-T-I-O-N-S. I do not have an affiliate link or anything like that, so I'm not doing this for that purpose. I just thought a bunch of people have probably bought these kits and maybe don't know what to do with them or how to do them. You get the envelopes. I'm going to set those aside. You get the card bases, so they give you 3. Some kits have 3 cards, some have 4. You know, you just never know. Hey, Beth. It does clearly indicate on the front, so you'll know when you're purchasing it, like how many you'll get out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just burnish the edge of this card that we're going to use tonight. Since we're going to need that. And then you get all the papers that you need. So there's some white papers here. There are pattern papers. There's polka dots. You can use either side. This one is textured with dots, which is kind of neat as well. But they tell you how to cut these papers so you'll have enough for all 3 cards. And that is in this instruction sheet that we have right here. So we'll be using that. Here's all the like measurements and stuff on how to cut it. I won't lie, I've cut them wrong before, and it's okay. There's always enough paper that you can just come up with your own design. So when you open it up, we also got these border stickers, so the things that we need. But when you open your kit, the first thing that you need to do is burnish this. So I do it with my finger, basically because it says that it'll add luster from the oils on your hands. So all you have to do is rub the paper like this. And you're just burnishing that glitter paper into the sticker paper that's underneath. And you'll see some of the glitter is coming off. And that's just moving the excess so we don't leave any of that on our markers or have any issues. So this is just burnishing it in there. I usually do the whole sheet. So it takes a second, but when you get it, they've already made the glitter paper for you, but you have to do the burnishing. It's an important step you don't want to forget to do. So once I have that done, I'm going to tap it down here, and I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of the glitter coming off. And that way we can color without the glitter going on our markers. So I have a little bit of a damp cloth here I was using earlier, which I'm going to pick up that glitter and toss this. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Sandy. Look at you guys popping in. Thank you so much for coming to watch me play with some Krazy Kreations stuff. So this is the glitter paper, and it's ready to go. Usually when I'm doing a kit, I'll put all of these on here right away so that I know that I can make them fit. That way I'm not looking for excess paper later, which you can certainly purchase, and it's easy to get, or you can make it yourself. Hello, Michelle. Long time no see. Super happy to see you pop in. Hi, Dee Ann. Howdy, howdy. So we have the main gemstone heart here, and then we have some flowers attached to it and extra ones on the outside, and then you also get your sentiment. So I have these really amazing tweezers that you've probably seen me use a million times. They help with this so much. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. This is probably the most challenging part of doing these, is making sure that you get the sticker on the paper flat. And I usually start on one end, lay it down, and then I just kind of start walking it across so that I get it completely flat. And I'm going to place them all before I burnish them onto the paper. We're not going to do them all tonight, but we are going to peel them all off and put them on here. Hi, Ellen. So I always try to find a way to make them all fit. So I always do the largest ones first. I want to make sure that the rose doesn't go off the paper.
Once they go on, is it difficult to get them back up if you messed up?
Okay, so Dale asked, is it hard to get them back up if you put them on and you've messed them up? They're not, unless you've already burnished them onto the paper, and then they just don't come up very easily. But I just barely laid them on here, so if for some reason I had to move them around, I could lift them up and move them. So that's why I haven't pressed them down tightly in case I have to move them around. But I've become pretty good at laying these down, so I'm pretty sure they'll fit. You can put them close together. You're going to cut them out, so I'm using like 1 of pressure to press those down because I don't want them on there really tight right now until I can make sure that I can fit them all on here. And you might as well get the most use out of them that you can out of this paper. So sometimes I even save like the extra little pieces and use them for other stuff. So that's why I'm pretty careful when I place them all down. There's other additional little hearts on here that are not on the card, but you could put them on the inside. Oh, these are on the card, these little ones. I thought they weren't, but they are. If you're worried about bleeding out with the marker color, then you don't have to put them quite as close. But I've done Krazy Kreations for a long time, so I know that I can put them super close and I'm not going to have any problems. But they definitely give you enough space. So this one is picking up the inside pieces, like the little black pieces in there. And I don't want them in there. So if you can see, this one picked up. I don't want to put that on my glitter paper, so I'm just placing it back on there. And this one, there are ways to use these, the extra pieces, but we're not going to go over those steps tonight. But there are ways to use them with reverse sticker paper, but I don't know where mine is right now, so I'm not going to go over that step. But definitely once you peel these off, keep this, because you can use this to lift up those extra pieces and make a whole different design on your paper. So don't throw away your stuff. Like the first couple of times I threw all mine away, and then I realized what you could do with them, and I was like, man, I threw all those away. There we go. And as you can see, we still have this whole square over here and just a few more little flowers to put on there. So we have more than enough space. And this has been in the package for quite some time. I've had this for a while, just hadn't done it. And even though the sticker sheet was folded in the package, it's still, everything is sticking great and everything.
Beth asked, what is that tool you're using?
The tool that I'm using? This is tweezers. I got mine on Amazon. It says ONYOU. On you is like the name of, only you. This is what they look like. I've had this one so long I wore off the little letters. But you can get a set for like $7 to $10, and you get like 5 or 6 or 8 of these. I don't really know how many you get. I can't remember, but you get different tips on the top. So I love this tool. You can also buy one. I know Krazy Kreations has one in their shop. So you can get them there as well. But it's just ultra fine tweezers, and I love mine. I use it for everything.
Heather says I do.
Hello, Heather. Super glad to see so many people. You guys, what's going on today? It must be a slower day. Everybody's jumping in tonight. I'm super happy to see you guys. I was starting to wonder if anybody was enjoying coming for the lives. Okay, putting all the hearts on here, and then I have one more flower. But these tweezers make it way easier to grab hold of these little designs. I'm going to show you another tool that they have that's pretty neat for burnishing once you put the designs on there. All that I have left, it looks like, is just the sentiments right there. So I'm just going to be careful to use those when we're ready for them. So I'm just going to set this aside because we don't need it. So Krazy Kreations has a tool like this. You'll notice that this tool looks a lot like our press pop without the felt on the bottom, because the felt sticks to the glitter. So this is one that didn't finish correctly, so it's kind of jacked, but I'm going to use it because it's the only one I have. But it's made smooth like this, so you can press down these stickers, get a really good hold on them rather than using your finger. And I love this. It's really neat. They have them at Krazy Kreations. I know they have them because we make them. We produce them for Krazy Kreations. So this is one that we were, that failed in production. But it presses them down to keep the ink from leaking out underneath the images. So I'm going to also do it on the back just to make sure I get a really good hold. So you can do it either way, from the front or the back. Makes crafty days the best. Yes, cold. That could be it. I don't like to be cold. And it's definitely been cold in Texas for sure. So now we have this ready. I usually do the coloring stuff and worry about the card making part afterwards. So we're just going to start off with the coloring. Now it tells you to color the glitter paper, peel it, put the stickers on, which I totally did already. Burnish the stickers, which I did. And then it says lead your coloring with the, and it's going to give you all the descriptions on how to actually color on here. But I don't follow the directions on coloring. I guess you guys know that. I just sort of make it up myself. So I'm going to go ahead and just start coloring. I can tell by the picture that they tended to go with the brighter reddish colors out to the lightest colors. So I'm going to stay with a theme similar to this, but I'm going to start with pink and go to a purplish blue and then a green or a blue green and then a yellow green and then yellow. So mine's going to look a little bit different. It's okay. Don't worry. It's just that I like to do things a little bit my own way sometimes. So I'm going to start on the edge over here with this lightest color. This works best with Olo markers only because they're so juicy, saturated, juicy markers that this works really good for them. I hope. I have not done it yet, but we're about to find out. So I'm going to start coloring, just adding a little bit of this color towards the edge of my image. It's okay if I go outside the lines because we have to cut this out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But look at how pretty that pink color is on there. I like it. I'm going to actually use 2 pink colors just because it is a heart, and I think that, you know, it needs to have a lot of pink. So that was RV 1.5 in the Olo, and this is RV 1.3. So I'm just going to keep coloring. I'm just going to extend out from where I put that last color. This one will be a little bit lighter than the last one, and I kind of want this to start all the way down at the bottom. So I don't know if you guys can tell as well as I can, being that I'm looking at it for real, but this part is significantly darker than that part. Now I'm going to move into my BV color. This is BV 2.3. And I'm just going to keep going from where I stopped, but I'm not going to go over that pink very much. I'm just going to start adding in this bluish color. Once I get that color on there, I'm going to go back with the RV 1.3, and I'm just going to touch where the connection is between those 2 colors. I'm going to kind of make it a little purple, but it also will smooth out that transition between the 2. So as I do that, you'll see I'm getting some blue color on my marker's tip, so I'm just going to wipe that off on a piece of paper and keep going. I'm going to wipe that off again. And now I'm going to work that little bit of line right there just to kind of soften up where the blue and the pink kind of meet up each other. Just to soften that up. And now I'm going to move on to that blue color again, but I'm going to go one step lighter than the blue I was using. So I was using 2.3. I'm going to go to 2.2 to kind of work the other side of that transition. It'll pull a little of the pink into the blue and make it almost like a purple. But then I'm going to extend out from there a little bit more so we have some space for the overlap of the next color. Now it is a little bit easier to blend these colors on paper, which is, you know, why I love Copics and use Copics, but it's also fun to do something different. So we're going to move on with BG 2.4. And this one, I'm going to start over that last color I put in there because this 2.4 is a little bit darker than that last color I put on there. So the only square we really have to worry about is this transition one right here and this one. Because down here we have a breaker for it, so that makes it a little bit easier. There we go. Now I'm going to switch back to the original blue I used, which is 2.3, and I'm going to do that a little bit from the other direction. Just trying to make sure we get a smooth transition between these two. So a little bit of back and forth and a little bit of playing with that kind of gives that.
It's like an ombre. Can I do this with Copics?
Yes, it is like an ombre, and yes, you can do it with Copics. You sure can. I used to color on this Krazy Kreations with Copics all the time. It's just a slightly easier with the Olos if you have them because they're juicier than the Copics. Like on the nib, like the juice just comes out like crazy on these markers. YG 2.3 is next. And we're going to build that transition there. I'm going to leave these alone because these are flowers that go with this rose right here. So I'm not going to color in there. I'm going to color around the leaves. There we go. This is a very bright little color, and there's not, like on their picture, they have a little bit more of an orange color. So I'll show you. Mine's a little bit more pink, but the pink will match just as well as the orange did to this excess paper. So see how all the colors I picked match the colors of this paper, so that no matter what color I pick, it'll still match with what I chose for my paper, or what they chose for my paper. I'm going to add a little bit on this side so I have something to blend with for my next color. I only have one more color, so I'm doing really good at spacing them out. Yep, I've done this a lot with Copics, and it's totally works as well. So I chose Y 2.2 to do this side, and I'm going to start from the opposite edge and work my way this way so that I can meet up with that green color a little bit easier. And that green color worked really well with that yellow. So I didn't have to work too hard for that transition spot right there. So now I'm going to turn it around so you can see it right side up. It's got all the colors in it. I feel like in looking at this that all of this blending is really good, but there's still a bit of a line right here. So I'm going to go back with my pink and work that a little bit more. I'm going back with the 1.3. It's the lighter color first. I'm going to go over that stuff and work back into over top of the darker pink. Feel like it'll make it a shade darker and might help a little bit with that transition right there. It almost looks like I have blue and then purple, which is kind of neat actually, because I didn't actually use any purple markers. That's much better. I like that a lot better. I do want you to be able to see the difference between this color and this pink color just a little bit more. So I'm going to go back in with that very first color I used, which was 1.5. And I'm just going to add a little bit more of that one just to deepen up this edge right here. I think it'll still blend with my pink and look good, but it'll go off into a little bit more of a reddish pink right there. I'm pretty happy with that. I like how that came out. So I'm going to stick with these markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For all the other coloring I'm going to do, since these colors match really nice with the outside of the card. Okay, I'm going to put them back in the order I had them in. So that I just place them back in the orders that I used them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That way I have them handy and next to each other. So for this rose, they chose the pinkish colors and then green for the leaves. So we're going to do that part next. We are going to have to do a smaller version of this on this tiny one, which is not a problem. It's just we need to have one of those for our cards and 2 hearts. So RV 1.5, we're going to start off with for this flower here. And Krazy Kreations says put the light color in first and then work with the dark color. So let's go ahead and try it that way. I don't normally do that because I'm a dark to light gal, but let's try it anyway. RV 1.3, that's what color we want this flower and this flower. I'm just putting, I'm only using like a pressure of like 1.5 to 2. I mean, like I'm barely touching this glitter. It'll pick up the ink pretty quickly. So I did the little flowers. We're going to need one of these as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one while I have the colors out. So I'm going to make them the same since they're going to be on the same card. And then I'm going to go in with the darker color, which is 1.5. And I'm going to add just the dark areas that I want to be darker. So I'm just going to add a bit of this dark towards the center of these, like on the inside of each one. Yeah, this is working nicely. I've usually done them with just dark to light, but this is working out nicely. So maybe try that when you do yours, because I think that actually works out really nicely, because now you can see a bit of depth within this. And then we're going to do it also with these little petals on the outside, but we're going to put them, the darkness in the center like this. Just kind of work it out a little bit. Now, if you want, you don't have to have like 3 color combination like we normally do. You just go back with that lighter color and just kind of touch those edges to soften up anything that might, and I wouldn't even run the brush. I would just do it with like a the dotting technique of just adding a couple of little dabs to get that medium color in between. And I think that works out very nicely. So let me see. I'll hold that up a little bit so you guys can really see. There is some depth in that flower. I like that. I'm gonna have to do that more often. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing with this one. Just going towards that center where the shadow would be. I haven't been using my Olos lately, so I'm excited to use them. I been using all my Copics for everything lately. And then the lighter color, just dab on the line to soften it so you don't see a line between the 2 colors. So I'm only doing it where I see it needs a little bit of blending. And I'm barely touching the paper, so not a lot of work. Your son is home tonight? Well, yay! Good night. We'll see you later. Okay, So for the leaves, I only chose one green color. So I chose Y2.3. And I want something just a little bit darker. So I'm going to grab this 1.6 to add for the center part of the depth. So 2.3 is what we're going to start with. That's going to be our lightest color. And we're going to just color all of those petals in. I see a spot I missed. I'll go back and fix that. So there's our light green. And now I'm going to go in with this 1.6, which is going to be pretty dark. So we're going to go in there and I'm going to add this center part where I want that depth to be on each one of these leaves. There we go. And then we'll go back with the lightest color, which is 2.3, and we'll do that dabbing to soften between the center part and the outside part. And because these colors are so different, one is significantly darker than the other, I'm using more of a pressure of like 2.3 to like, or 2.5, just to soften that up. I want more ink to go onto the image. So just using a little bit more. Also, I didn't get enough right there. Okay, so I'm going to grab my yellow and fill in that spot that I missed, which is this, or I could do that with pink. Let's do it with pink, because I think it's supposed to be part of the petal anyway. There we go. Okay, so now we have these done, which was super fast. We need to do one of these and two of these. So for my hearts, I'm going to stick with the pink colors again. So going back to our 1.5 and our 1.3, I'm going to start with 1.3. Then I'm going to pick up my 1.5. And I'm just going to put it kind of around one side. And then we'll go back with this one and we'll touch with just that one pressure for that shadow color. And there we go. Now we have lighter on one side, darker on the other. Now the last one that we have to do is this one right here. So I'm not going to use the 1.5 on the pink because it's so harsh. I want to keep this a little bit softer. So I'm just going to go in with the lighter pink and put just a little bit in there. So that's the 1.3. Next I have to move on to the blue. So I'm only going to use the lighter blue, which is the 2.2. It's almost a purple, which I'm okay with. And then I'm going to move into the green, which is 2.3, because it's also soft. That color is much harsher, and I don't want to bump between those two. And then our yellow on the end, since we know those blend really well. And then I'm going to go back in with this blue, but I'm going to do tip to tip. So this is BV 2.3 in my hand, right here, and 2.2 in this hand. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of color so I can darken this up a little bit. Just to get us that transition. So this was my 2.2. And this is my 2.3. And then I'm going to touch it with the pink one more time because I feel like I lost some of the pink in there. And now we have a mini heart made just like the big heart. And that's all the pieces we need to complete our one card. So I'm going to put my markers back in my little stand here so I have them, but they're not rolling all over my desk. Because that rolling all around my desk drives me crazy. Crazy, crazy. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to cut out our pieces. Now, I have a specific pair of scissors that I keep that are for sticky things, and you definitely want something for sticky things because there is double-sided sticky tape behind the glitter. So you don't want to make your scissors sticky. So just choose a pair of scissors that you want to cut all your Krazy Kreations stuff with. And then I usually just cut real close so that I can save any of this for something else. And I should have colored that little heart instead of the other one, but that's okay. I'm gonna cut my little pieces out. There. Now I have this for later, so I'm gonna put that away. And we're gonna cut these out. And you're just gonna cut them kind of close to that black line. Please don't worry and be too specific on it. It doesn't matter if you're not that close to it because I'm going to show you how to cover that up. So cutting these out isn't going to take all that long because you don't have to be real specific on it. As long as you're close, you're golden. You do not have to be a perfect fussy cutter to do this. I know that's sort of a deal breaker for some people is, oh my goodness, I have to cut those out. Yeah, it's not so hard because I'm going to show you how to cover up any white that you still see. So don't worry about it. It's no worries. Just cut along here. The heart is pretty easy to cut. This is just one shape. But when we get to the flowers, it'll be a little bit more touchy, but also still not difficult. Just hang in there with me. Hang in there and I'll show you how to fix it. Sorry, there was something on a fuzzy. My paper. Now I am not sure about going up in here if it's necessary or not. Sometimes I don't like to be able to see that. But again, you don't have to get real close. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm hoping that, like normally I'm very specific and I usually cut it really close, but I'm doing it not so close, so I'll be able to show you how to fix it. Hello, Ollie Dallas, how are you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you pop in. I hope you're doing well. I had a rough start for the beginning of the year, but I am doing great now, so I am very happy about that. We're almost done. We have a couple of little hearts to cut out, and then we're finished. So as you can see, it doesn't really take all that long to cut these out. It's not like fussy cutting a Copic colored image, so you don't have to worry about the specifics on that so much. One more, if I can find it. There it is. It's pretty easy to cut on the glitter. You don't have to worry about that. The glitter paper is easy to cut. I just do it with my sticky scissors just in case I get a sticky spot. 2025 has not been gentle. I hear ya. Okay, I'm going to grab my Olo marker that's called BK. This is my black Olo marker. And what I'm going to do is, you can see around these edges that there's a lot of white around the edges. And I'm going to take this marker and I'm just going to slide it along the edge wherever there's white, or the whole thing, just to make sure I don't miss anything. Just slide it along the edges. You'll cover up any of those white pieces that you didn't cut specifically perfectly. In here, I'm just going to do it like this because it's such a tiny area. I don't want to try to fit the nib of the marker in there. And then look, now it looks like you fussy cut that like absolutely perfectly. The only thing that bugs me is this one little white spot right here, so I'm just going to make it black because it's bugging me. Oops, I missed one spot up there. There we go. And now we're just going to do that with each one. It's super simple and super fast, so you can see all the white edges around this. And then we're just going to run our black marker around the edge, cover up all of that paper with black. And now it looks like you're an absolutely perfect fussy cutter of glitter paper. Ta-da! When I do that, my black marker is always feathers into the coloring. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. Oh, you know what I found is I used to do it like around the edge like this, or I used to do it where I was trying to like color the edge or on the top. I always put the marker behind the image and I just touch it along these edges. And I never get it in the coloring. So I guess my questions would be, when you do this, do you burnish the outline sticker once you put it on the glitter paper? Do you rub it, like they have a tool like this, that you rub it on there with this tool to make sure you have a really good tight hold on the glitter? And that keeps it from running underneath the outline sticker. Because sometimes if you don't get it down good enough, it runs along there. And Krazy Kreations sells that tool. So if you need it, you can get it there. Not exactly sure what they decided to name it. Burnishing tool or something. But it's really useful. And I never get the outline into the coloring. So now they're all done and you don't see any white lines around them. So it makes everything look really sharp, crisp, and clean. Hey, Harlan. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is create the card. So in the card kit, we know the card's going to look something like this. We have our card base that they gave us. And then we have all these papers. That, by the way, I have not cut them. So, we're going to go by what the instructions say and see if I know how to cut. They are perfect. Woohoo! They are perfect. I matched the colors so that they would match because this kit is so old that it uses right marker colors. They usually give you the color, but this kit is so old, I had to pick my own colors. And I think it worked out great. So down here where it says assemble card, fold the pre-scored card, which I did in portrait orientation. That's like this. The opening to the right. Got it. Trim the white cardstock to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 height. So I have my little trimmer here. So 4 1/4, it's already cut to 5 1/2. Perfect. It's already done. Look at that. It's already done. So I didn't need to trim that. It was already done for me. Although I did accidentally trim just a little sliver off of here, so mine is going to be a little bit off. Okay, so I have that. It says adhere it to the pre-scored card. So they want this on the front. So this is going to be the front of my card base. I'm going to actually not adhere it till the end. I'm just going to adhere everything to this piece right here. Hey, Mama. Then it says trim the turquoise dot paper. That would be this one. To 4 inches wide by 3 inches high. So this one is already 4. So all I have to do is trim 3 inches off. So that leaves me 4 by 3, just like they said. And then it says, adhere to the top of the white cardstock, leaving the mat on top and sides. So what she's saying, leaving a mat on top and sides, is like this. When you adhere it, leave a little bit of an edge around the top and the sides. That's the adhering part. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put that on there because she said adhere it. So I'm just using my Barely Art glue because it's my favorite thing to use. And I'm going to place that on there just like that. I'm going to use my little press pop to press it down. And now it says trim the flower paper to 4 inches wide by 1 1/4 and adhere it to the bottom seam of the turquoise dot paper. So this is already 4. So all I need is a 1 1/4. 1 1/4. So that gives me this piece. Now remember, this card stuff tape will make 3 cards. So that excess paper over there, we're going to use that on our other cards. So it says to trim the flower paper and adhere to the seam of the turquoise dot paper. So right at the bottom of the turquoise dot paper, we're going to stick this on. Now, if you wanted to make a variation of this, you could use this side of the paper. I mean, all 3 of my cards never look exactly the same when I do these kits because I like to play around with the different colored papers and the different stuff. But for this purpose, since I'm telling you guys how to use a kit, I want to show you all exactly how it says on here. But I'm a rogue person. I like to go rogue and do different stuff, so mine always look different. Trim the coral dot paper to 4 wide by 3/4 height. So that must be the other one. That is this one. So this is the coral dot paper. And it says, here we go, coral dot paper by 4 wide by 3 1/4 height. Well, this is not 4 wide. This one is 3 wide. So in order for it to be 4 wide, we're going to have to cut it here. Hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. And then 3/4 of an inch, since this is 3 inches, I'm just going to go to 2 1/4 and trim that off. And that'll be my little piece that I need. It says adhere it to the bottom seam of the flower paper, leaving matting on all sides and the bottom. Let me move them out of the way. So that means here and here. Now, 1 1/4, I did this a quarter. See, this is what happens to me. I mess them up every time. Sorry, 1 1/4. No worries. Now, that didn't work either, did it? Nope, I was right. It trimmed the coral dot paper by 3/4 of an inch. That's what this is, 3/4 of an inch. So why doesn't it fit perfectly? Oh, it's supposed to have something on the bottom. Don't doubt it. Just do it. Have faith. Okay, we're just going to stick this on here. Sometimes my brain jumps ahead and I just can't. Trust the process. Trust the process. There's a reason. Okay, so we have that on there. So now look at that. That's pretty in itself, isn't it? All right, now it says, peel the scallop border from the sticker sheet and adhere across the top and the bottom of the coral dot paper. See the photo. So here's the photo. That lace, they want it here and here. So those were the other stickers that came in the kit. They look like this. So I'm going to peel that off. Just going to peel a whole sheet of it. I mean, a whole strip of it. And if I don't need it, I'll put it back on there. And it says to put it at the top of this one. I have to turn this so I can see what I'm doing. Just going to slide that along there. And then when I get over to this edge, I like to use my X-Acto knife because it gives me precise cutting. And I'm just going to cut that right along there. Well, maybe. I don't want to cut into the card, but I do want to cut the... There we go. And now I'm going to put it at the bottom of this one. I'm going to actually trim this because I don't think I got this perfectly straight. There we go. And now I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to actually put it below. I'm not sure if they put it below or not, but I am. There we go. I'm going to slide it right up against that paper on top of it. And look at that. Even with trimming that little teeny piece off, it still worked. There's a little bit of a sliver excess over here, and I'm just going to cut that off and take that off with my tweezers, just so it lines up absolutely perfectly, because I'm just picky like that. I'm good at following directions. I'm usually a roguer, but yeah, I'm trying. And then it says peel the solid scallop border from the sheet and adhere to the top and the bottom of the turquoise dot paper. See the photo. So what we're looking for is this scallopy look and this scallopy look. So on this border, you might think all we had was this lace, but on the other side, we have this piece. So using all your stickers, see that? You're a pro roguer too. Yes, I am very, very much a roguer. I'm going to trim just a tad off of that because it had a little piece hanging pretty long. And then we're going to put this across the turquoise paper, just like the instructions say. And then we're going to put it at the bottom of the turquoise paper. So at the top and the bottom. So that was the top. And this is the bottom. Oh, this card is getting prettier and prettier as I go. Isn't that cool? I mean, I love all their card kits. So you should check them out because I think I have about 10 card kits in my Krazy Kreations drawer. Yes, I have a full drawer for them. And A bunch of them were Halloween, so I didn't really want to do Halloween tonight. So I chose this one. But they have Christmas and Halloween and so many. But look at how pretty that is, even just like that. Okay, next step. Peel the sentiment from the outline sticker sheet and adhere on the left of the coral dot paper as shown in the photo. So, there it is. I'll scoot it in a little bit so you can see a little better. Now we're back to this black paper that we had, and it says, sending lots of love, or sending lots of love. It's just scattered on here, however they need it to be so it fits. So we're just going to peel that off, starting with the word sending. I'm going to use my little tweezers. Peel the word sending first. Going to poke out that E. So there's a little piece in there stuck, and I don't want that on my card. There's also one in the D. That I don't want. Well, I'll get it once I put it on the paper. It's probably easier that way. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down here on the dots. Probably somewhere around, maybe right, I think I'm going to put it crooked like that so it fits really good. Okay, I'm going to press in this area, and then I'm going to peel out these little excess pieces that popped out with the paper. There we go. I'll peel those out, and perfect. And then I'm going to pick up the lots of love, each word at a time. So lots first. Sometimes I put them on my finger if there's circles for the center of the O, because it'll stay on your finger when you move it, if you poke it out. And sometimes it doesn't. So I just try it on my finger first. If it doesn't come out, then I put it on the paper and I take it out with the tweezers after I put it on the paper. There we go. Lots of, the O came out that time. And then the word love. This is in real time, you guys. So wish I could fast forward some of these, like peeling the little things out and stuff, but it's real time. So we gotta do all the steps. These dots on there is how I'm lining this up so it stays perfectly. So I used that dot as a guide for my words lots of love, so they would be straight. I wanted them straight. Okay. So we did that. Peel the large geometric shape heart, rose, flower, 2 small heart, and small geometric from the outlines, and adhere to the burnish. Rub your fingers, color with alcohol. We already did all of that, so now it's time to put that on the card. So here we go. Following the picture, this little flower goes in this corner. We're just going to lay them there for a second, and then we'll put them on. The heart goes up here. This little geometric heart goes here. This heart goes here. And then we have one more heart, but I don't know where it is. Did I lose my heart? Oh, I lost my heart. There it is. It goes right here. And once we adhere those down, we have completed the card. However, I'm going to add a little bit of bling to mine just because, you know, that's the way I roll. And I think I'm going to pop up my heart because it's so beautiful. I want to pop it up. So I'm going to grab this little bit of excess stuff that I have, and I'm going to pop up my heart. I'm going to give my heart some love. This is a good card for Valentine's Day too. So while I didn't plan to do a Valentine's Day card tonight, this will definitely work as a Valentine's Day card. Now, because this glitter paper has glitter and sticker and regular paper on it, it's a bit more sturdy than just the Copic paper stuff. So it doesn't bend as easily, so I don't need as much of the foam tape. So I'm going to use my glue, and I'm going to glue this one flat. Use my tweezers because I love them. I'm going to place this one down here. Pressed it on with my press pop. I'm going to take this one. And man, I can tell you, sometimes I open these cards and I do all the coloring and play with all the stuff, and I can make all the cards in like an hour, hour and a half, and it's so fun. So I'm going to place this on this side. I have the perfect bling. I'm going to add a few. Not a lot, just a few, because the glitter is bling enough. But I have the perfect one to add to it. So I'm going to put this one, I'm going to put them kind of sideways so they're sort of crawling up the page. And my little heart. And then my last heart. And you don't see any white edges or outlines. It looks nice, crisp, clean, pretty. It's so beautiful and so easy to do. That's why I like the kits. I mean, I have a lot of the sheets like this that don't have a card kit with them. But the card kit is so epic. It just works. So I have these yellow little blings in here that I got from the ton that I feel like they are just so perfect that I can't not use them. So I'm just going to make sure I have a few of them turned over so my picker tool will pick them up easily and I don't put them on there upside down. And I'm only going to add 3. Because I just feel like they'll be perfect on this. I've been using my picker tool a lot today. I want to put them on this side. Just 3 of them. So I'm going to pick up this one. And this one. And one more. Yep, that's perfect. And this one. And I feel like those will just, I mean, again, it's the rogue thing. I can't help myself. I'm going to press them down with my press pop just to make sure they have a really good hold. And then there you go. Isn't that heart just beautiful? I love those geometric shapes. You could do it like stained glass, and you could do each one different colors, and that would look really pretty too. Or you can do it like this. So from this card kit to, mostly I followed instructions. It is gorgeous with the glitter, isn't it? You see all that glitter sparkle? It's like Lady Glitter Sparkles. The black is shiny. The glitter is sparkly. It's just beautiful. So if you haven't checked them out, I recommend checking them out just because they're one of my favorite companies. Again, this is their name. Yes, the glitter paper is very smooth. Here's what. It's soft. Very soft and smooth. It feels soft like a baby's bottom. Soft, soft. I have a few other things that I can show you. Some other kits. I have a gnome kit. This one's really cute too. And then I have a Halloween kit with pumpkins. And I have quite a few others that I really, really like. I have one with ice cream popsicles. And then I have 3 of these books full of everything. So I definitely am a fan of their stuff. They also, if you're not a colorist and you don't really want to color the images, so to speak, they actually have colored glitter paper. So you can buy the paper already colored. I thought I had some in here I was going to show you, but I don't see any. I don't see it down here right now. Oh yeah, there it is. So you can buy the paper like this. So here's purple, greens, blues, golds, and this is the clear paper like we used in the kit. And you can just put the design over top of the colored paper, like you could do gold, and it would go just as good with the whole theme, and you don't even have to color it. You can still color on these colored papers as well, on these colored glitter papers, but I just really like them, so clearly I have a ton of them. And I've used the purple, which I'm sure doesn't surprise any of you who know me well. You can buy the glitter paper. Look at this obsession, seriously. You can buy the glitter paper pre-made, or you can buy the pieces that you need in order to make the glitter paper yourself. And since I've worked with them, I know how to make the glitter paper. So I have some pre-made and some I can make. So you'll never run out of glitter paper. You'll always have options to use it. It's fun. And it's easy and simple. And when I go to retreats, sometimes I take some kits like this with me, which is why I have so many. Just because I can take just this, just the colors I need, and then I can just go and color and make full cards, and I don't have to take a lot of supplies with me. So I love that, and that's why I have a bunch of these. I feel like a popsicle right now. I feel like I would love to have a popsicle right now. Hi, Diana. So anyway, that's how you use the Krazy Kreations kits. And I will post this on YouTube so you guys can refer back to it anytime that you need. After the live, I will probably complete the rest of the cards, because once I start, I like to just finish. I used Olo Markers, so I definitely got my use out of my Olos. And then if anybody would like an update on the book that I've been working on, that I've talked about on the last couple of lives, you guys are not going to believe how far I got, being that I was sick. If you want to see that, stick around for a few more minutes. The live will be over in about less than 5 minutes, but I want to show this to you. So this is, you have popsicles at home? This is the Sassy Club dot journal that I've been talking about, that I got and made, and it is my reference guide for colors. So I finally decided what I want my first page to look like. It's not colored yet, but it will be. And then I added Snow White and Prince in front of the 7 Dwarfs. But you know, we did the 7 Dwarfs on a live, and I told you guys I was working on this book, and I want to show you how far I got since I haven't been feeling well. look. So from here to here, they are all colored and numbered. So I have been working extremely diligently on completing this book. I currently have everything stamped through about right here. I only have this much left in my book. Thank goodness I have a second book. I started this at the beginning of the year, so I haven't been working on it too awful long, but when you have an abscess and you only sleep 2 to 3 hours at a time, well, that's what you have to do. So I just wanted to show you guys the progress. I do have Doux Designs images in here. These are the ones that were released at Pajama Crafter Stamps. I do have them in here. I do have some that were released at a different company that no longer is in business. And I was going to show them. Oh, here they are. But I did add them, as you may see them in the future somewhere else. But I did add some of those. Those are all drawn by me. And I wanted some of my artwork in there too. So I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys will be too. I will be making shorts, speed coloring videos out of most of the images in that book. So be on the lookout for those on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys soon. And don't worry, I have a second book. I have a second journal, so I will be doing more and more and more. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your evening. And don't forget to follow me. Good night.